Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Bitcoin here on the daily, trading right now just shy of $30,000. So we have seen this over the last month or so. It's just been hanging on. $30,000 is that region where, we're finding a lot of buyer and seller cooperation, I guess we could say, acknowledging that, $30,000, a fair price to sell Bitcoin, a fair price to buy Bitcoin. So we're not seeing too much volume here in this region. We did see a huge sell-off. Of course, this was triggered by larger market trends. And, Bitcoin now just hovering in this zone. However, we are not seeing it go much lower than what we saw even back a year ago. So even back this past year, okay, in 2021, back in the summer, we did see Bitcoin dip to as low as 28,500. And just recently, May 2022, we did see it dip again down to roughly $25,000. So we're still holding, though. Ultimately, though, we're still holding, and this is a good sign. The crypto market trends really have not broken down to the same degree that we saw them break down back in 2018 when we saw a 85% correction for Bitcoin. So that would have brought a Bitcoin right back down to about $10,000 per coin. We are still holding this level. I mean, we could consolidate a little more. The 89% rule still does apply here, which we've seen in former trends, the 2017-2018 trend, and even in the 2013-2014 trend. And I'll link a video that talks a little bit about 89%, and I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner for those of you guys who do not know what I'm talking about. XRP, guys, bringing up XRP here on the daily, 39.9, so just shy of 40 cents. Again, just still following Bitcoin at this moment in time. The rest of the altcoins are doing the same. Bringing up Algorand, for example, we're seeing Algorand trading at about 39 cents as well. So a very good deal for some of these cryptocurrencies that the World Economic Forum, for example, has made note of. Let's bring up XLM here real quickly. Here you guys can see XLM still holding this support level too. So all these coins still trading speculatively. Let's bring up ADA real quickly here. ADA, which is Cardano's ADA, and I'll bring it up on the Binance exchange. Again, it has come down quite significantly since its all-time high. It's down about 80%. So right now, even ADA trading at 61 cents. I'd say a fairly good deal for this particular cryptocurrency as well. We got some news, guys. Pretty big news, I guess, if you've been following Ripple and XRP for at least the last few years now. Ashish Birla is stepping down from his post. 9 amazing years. I've decided to wrap up my day job at Ripple. Luckily, I'm not going far, as he will be joining the board of directors, where he'll continue to provide input on company vision plus strategy. I haven't decided what's next, but plan to continuing buildle in crypto. And so he just posts a thread here over the last several years. When he started, I think it was back in 2013, he posts some photos here of him and the gang way back when Ripple was a very small company. 2013, within a few weeks of joining, Stripe tried to acquire Ripple. That's an interesting little tidbit of trivia there. Also notice down here, he posts this. When he was at Bitcoin Magazine, Vitalik Buterin worked out of our office in December of 2013. I remember him talking about early smart contract concepts. We made him an offer to be an intern at Ripple, but he couldn't get the visa sorted out, and he'd later speak at our first Swell conference. So despite the Vitalik FUD that he has been spewing, as of late, I mean, since the Ripple SEC lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, he did actually get an offer from Ripple, and he was the one who couldn't make it work. I guess with his visa papers, just couldn't make it work. So I thought that was interesting that Ashish is mentioning this here. 2013, he says, we piloted Ripple Pay, a functional credit card where you could use XRP to make everyday purchases using the XRPL DEX to convert any currency in the XRPL wallet into USD. Of course, at that time, companies, big organizations, financial institutions were not touching crypto with a 10-foot pole. Fast forward to today, and of course, there was 2018, their first production of ODL, which at that time was called XRapid. I know some of you guys may remember that. Introduction at Swell 2018 when they introduced that. And also this in 2018, these amazing people at Hodges, Sarah Hodges, hosted an amazing crypto dinner in April with 2-Bit Idiot, which is Ryan Selkis, David Balter, Gary Gensler, and others. Selkis was a lot nicer in person, and Gary Gensler was interested in learning about the intersection of crypto and finance. What happened? So, reminiscing over the years here, Ashish Birla posting some interesting photos. I'll link this in the description if you guys didn't catch that yet. Brad Garlinghouse here posting, while I typically like to steal Ashish Birla's thunder, it only seems fitting that he should get to break this news himself. He's had an incredible impact on Ripple, our product and strategies. I'm grateful he will continue to do so on the board. And with that, I'm excited to congratulate Monica Long, who has been a key leader in Ripple for about 9 years and is stepping into an expanded role to lead both RippleNet and RippleX to continue building on the great success of Ashish Birla and the RippleNet team. We got Chris Larson here, guys. Not going to spend too much more time on this, saying, early on at Ripple, I told Ashish to take pictures along the way because it goes by fast. Fun to take a trip down memory lane in the years since you started. Thank you for all your hard work and contributions to Ripple's success. I couldn't be happier to welcome you to the board. So Ashish Birla moving on, staying on though as a board member for Ripple. And so, he mentioned some things here that were kind of eye-opening to me, like the Vitalik Buterin bit, the fact that they offered him a job. And, Vitalik positions it in a way where it's kind of like, F you, Ripple. I have all this talent and you didn't offer me a job. But Ashish is saying he worked out of their office in December of 2013. They also offered for him to be an intern, but he just couldn't get the papers together. So again, I'm going to link this in the description. And to the point of, oh right, that was the other thing I was going to mention, to the point where he says that he was at that dinner in 2018 with Gary Gensler, who at that time was interested in the intersection of crypto and finance. So what happened? Of course, we've got the SEC lawsuit that has been dragging on. James K. Filan just posting this yesterday. So here's an update, guys. The court denies the SEC's motion to seal and orders it to file by June the 14th a redacted version of the brief and exhibits under seal, redacting information only to the extent necessary to safeguard information sought to be filed under seal. And here's the document just highlighting that. The court also orders that by June 14th, the SEC shall file a letter explaining its proposed redactions and specifying which exhibits it seeks to seal. Essentially, the court agreed with Ripple and said that the SEC was trying to seal more than necessary. So that's interesting. The court has agreed with Ripple's lawyers, saying, well, SEC, you are redacting too much information that does not necessarily need to be redacted for this particular purpose. Jeremy Hogan here, pivoting to a bit of a different topic with regards to the Dober hearing. Per Ripple's reply letter, we can get an idea what is happening here. So this had to do with one of the expert witnesses from the SEC feeling threatened, and we were kind of wondering what was going on here. Seems, and he says, I'm assuming here, there were hostile communications made to the SEC's expert witness, or perhaps just hostile online comments, and the SEC doesn't want their expert's physical address disclosed. So I know John Deaton came out on Twitter the other day saying, okay, XRP community, if one of you clowns is harassing the SEC's witness, stop immediately. Do not do this because that cannot end well. Jeremy Hogan also mentions that here. Ripple is arguing that only one document exposes the expert's address and only that one document needs to be sealed. P.S. If you communicate with the attorneys, judges, parties, or experts in any case, you are not, capital N-O-T, helping. Trust the process, as frustrating as it is. XRP Crypto Wolf mentioning here, I think the SEC is lying as usual to try to seal all the documents. I don't think anyone from the XRP community is dumb enough to threaten an SEC expert witness. Well, there are a lot of us, XRP Crypto Wolf, and I've seen some comments. I've seen some flip-floppers in the XRP community. On the one hand, during a bull market, XRP is rallying. They're also positive. And then when we see, the price declining, even though it's symptomatic of the entire crypto market, these same people are talking trash. It's a crap coin, sell it all. I'm not touching that coin, and blah, blah, blah. So there are a lot of us. I know that is not the majority of the XRP community, but, I wouldn't put it past some people who may feel very passionate about this to may have made some comments on Twitter or something else. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. And I mentioned this the other day. I'm not going to talk about it too much today, but it had to do with SEC employees, lawyers specifically, leaving the SEC and moving to private practices. Crypto Eddie just bringing this article up again from Law 360, and a quote, "I like to try cases. I also like to win," said a former SEC official who left to enter private practice. "I was looking down the pipeline at these types of cases that the SEC is going to bring and not seeing a path towards victory on the SEC side." So this is the sentiment within the SEC from their legal team, and I think that this speaks volumes. The lawyers that are working there, want to win cases. I mean, everybody, if you're a lawyer, I'm sure you always want to win the case. And if you're seeing that the organization that has hired you is bringing on these cases that really don't have a leg to stand on, well, I mean, there's the Ripple case as a very prominent example of that, I could see why these guys want to bail ship. Now, I mean, okay, I'll play devil's advocate. Let's say the SEC decided to sue Ripple and they just weren't ready. They weren't accounting for the fact that XRP community sleuths, Twitter sleuths, were going to be out there digging up all kinds of evidence to really kind of screw up their case. And then, the lawyers working for them are thinking, okay, maybe this is just a black swan case and they weren't ready for it. Maybe I'll, stay on board and see what else comes down the pipe. Well, now you have the SEC suing other companies like Binance, and they're in court with other crypto companies. We know the library case has been a high-profile one that we've talked about a little bit on this channel. So all these other cases are coming down the pipe, and knowing what they know now with the Ripple SEC case, you'd think they'd learn their lesson. But clearly, it seems as though, as per, the actions of these lawyers, it doesn't seem like they have learned their lesson. And so that's the thing that gets me scratching my head. Why are they still doing this? And I'm going to get to some possible reasons in a second, guys. Matt Hamilton also bringing up the obvious here. Quite impressive that the SEC seemed to be doing so badly in their case against Ripple. And when random newsletter hack B. Gilliam 1982 wrote his newsletter today for Blockworks, that he actually thinks Ripple is suing the SEC. So yeah, this is how bad it is. Maybe this guy just did not do his research. Ripple went so far as to sue the SEC in an effort to get them to break that silence and offer a better explanation of how. Oh man, that's embarrassing. And so John Deaton here also kind of pointing out some missteps where the SEC could have done better. The most important part is that there was no recommendation for enforcement after the legal analysis of XRP was written on June 13th, 2018, okay, in and around the time of the Hinman speech. If XRP wasn't clearly a security in 2018, it certainly didn't transform into one after XRP, and the XRPL became more decentralized. He retweeted out Stefan Hubert's tweet here. The fact that the SEC doesn't want that this analysis of XRP for the Division of Corporate Finance of Enforcement Division doesn't want that to be public says everything. The SEC lost its case very long ago. And so he's just bringing up the June 13th, 2018 email and attached memorandum from the Office of Chief Counsel of the Division of Corporate Finance to staff of the Division of Enforcement regarding legal analysis of XRP. So they did not want this released. And I have the Stefan Hubert tweet up here as well, along with that document from Cleary, Gottlieb, Steen, and Hamilton LLP, just talking about that. It's over there at crypto-law.us for those of you guys interested, but I will also link it in the description of this video too, for those of you guys who like digging in further. So a lot of missteps along the way. We also have the SEC lawyers, of course, saying this is a bit of a shit show. Why would I stay here if I could be successful in private practice? Government red tape, whatever the reasons are, I am leaving. Why continue to misstep, especially now that there's clear evidence that XRP, not a security, and even the legal analysis done by the SEC. John Deaton also mentions this here. What happened in the 2.5 years after the memo that caused the SEC to claim all XRP, including XRP traded in the secondary market, independent of Ripple, all securities? The point of contention, okay? Cryptocurrencies, whether it's XRP or other cryptocurrencies, is this: are they securities or are they not securities? And this definition, I think, first and foremost, is where a lot of this legislation is going to stem from, as we've heard. Now, I recently did a video about Bitcoin maximalists, namely Cynthia Loomis and Gillibrand. What's her name again? I have the clip up here. Gillibrand, what's her name? Kirsten Gillibrand, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. They just drafted a crypto bill that is going to be put forth. And, it's still a first draft of this bill. So there could still be tweaks that need to be added to this. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner for you. Well, Wheezy here at Nerd Nation Unboxed, he posted a couple more clips getting a bad feeling this bill just protects Bitcoin and Ethereum. And even Digital Perspectives down here saying, I'm concerned about that too. I keep asking on my show, why hasn't Ripple endorsed this bill? So, very good questions here. The original video I did was talking about this bill and framing it with regards to, well, especially Cynthia Loomis's perspective on crypto. She's a Bitcoin maximalist. She's come out there, she's made it very, very clear that she thinks Bitcoin is very positive for all the reasons she gives. They don't really talk about any specific altcoins in particular. And Brad Kimes, he's also bringing this up. Why haven't these other companies endorsed this bill yet? Is there something that we don't know about in this bill that would hinder them? Well, let me play you guys this clip real quick. Here's Gillibrand and Loomis talking about the bill.
And I think you've overstated. I don't think CFTC is the primary regulator. They just have the obligation to regulate Bitcoin and Ether, the majority of cryptocurrencies today. But the SEC has an enormous responsibility and is going to have to take many of these other cryptocurrencies. They're going to have to take anything that looks like a security. We use the Howey test as the base, but we further refine the definition of a security. And I can tell you, there's businesses throughout New York City that are desperate to be actually given the ability to be broker-dealers, given the ability to be regulated by the SEC. We have players who are asking the SEC to allow them to have an ETF, waiting for the response. And so we are giving the clarity that the SEC needs so they can actually do the job of regulating a lot of businesses. They're asking for that regulation now. And so we refine the Howey test and we really draw out exactly what's a security. If a token conveys with respect to an issuing entity, voting rights, rights of interest, dividend payments or profits, debt or equity interest, liquidation rights, profit revenue share derived solely from managerial effects of others, and any other financial interest would therefore be a security. And so we aren't minimizing the role of the SEC, but we are empowering both regulatory agencies to begin to take this market and give it safety and soundness.
So it doesn't actually sound as though they want to take away power from the SEC, as Kirsten Gillibrand mentions here, but to give the SEC a clearer framework so that they can properly scrutinize altcoins and they can basically go after altcoins if they so choose. Now, talking about the CFTC, they are going to be in charge of regulating commodities, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so we have these two cryptocurrencies here. I don't know why Ethereum, for example, though, is tied to Bitcoin, is related to Bitcoin in that matter, considering Bitcoin did not launch an ICO at the time of inception. And Ethereum, I mean, there's all kinds of evidence to support the fact that Vitalik Buterin and the guys over there at Ethereum did launch an ICO, and that's how they got a lot of their fundraising money. So they're trying to lump Ethereum in with Bitcoin, and they're trying to push these two off. Oh, they're commodities. CFTC. Meanwhile, 99% of altcoins, securities, SEC. Let's get them. And so maybe this is why we haven't seen Ripple and other cryptocurrency organizations really endorse this bill the way that we thought maybe they would have, because, Brad Garlinghouse has said from the beginning, we need a clear roadmap. We need clear cryptocurrency regs in order to keep moving forward. And yet we haven't really heard too much about that. So I thought that was something significant to pay attention to. Another clip here from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. Senator Gillibrand, Chairman Gensler, and Chairman Benham both agree that Ether is a commodity. Why is Gensler so afraid to say it in public?
Todd Phillips from the Center for American Progress had this to say. He said, the status quo would be better than this bill. So many of these tokens are securities and need to comply with the regular, usual securities laws, and this bill tries to create a special crypto-specific disclosure regime that I don't think discloses all the information investors need to fully evaluate whether to purchase a security. What do you have to say to that?
I think he's wrong, and I don't think he's spent enough time with the bill or the industry or the regulators, and we have. And so we believe that, as we've said, a great deal of this is going to the SEC. Most cryptocurrencies go to the SEC. The particular Bitcoin and Ether would be certainly commodities, and that's agreed upon. That's agreed with Chairman Gensler as well as the chairman of the CFTC.
So Gensler, as per Gillibrand here, has said, or she said that he said, that Ethereum is indeed a commodity. That's agreed upon, her words, not mine. And to Wheezy's point here, why hasn't he said that in public? Well, I think there's a lot more information coming out to suggest otherwise. So, I mean, I guess the question remains, will Ripple's XRP be lumped into this category? I think it is good that we are in court, at least now at the beginning, because there is a chance that XRP will come out of the gate. It will be the first and trailblazing case to set that bar, to set that standard. And, despite what happens with regards to the crypto regulation, and I have a feeling too that this is why the SEC is trying to push and postpone this case as long as possible, because once there is clarity, guys, that's it. You can use the case law to set a precedent for other cryptocurrencies emerging in the future. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.